should you scout for Arcsuit Steven and Metagross? Are they any good? Well, guys, this is the second sync pair of the 5th year anniversary update of Pokemon Masters. I said a couple of things. I shared my thoughts in my Arcsuit Cynthia video. I'm gonna try to skip them because it will make the video really long. If you haven't seen my Arcsuit Cynthia video yet, you should check it out. Link will be down there in the description. But this is the second sync pair with the multi-roll. And what this does is that it will, when you use your sync move against the opponent, it will give every single opponent, you know, even if you hit one opponent with your sync move, it will lower every single opponent's rebuff of whatever type he is. So this is a steel type sync pair, and it will lower the all opponents' steel type rebuff. Now, as one of their passive skills at the start of the battle, you already get to lower the opponent's steel type rebuff -1 every single opponent, and raise the rebuff or your resistance against steel type attacks for your entire team. So that's what, you know, your multi-sync pairs do. Basically lower your opponent's rebuff -2 and raise everyone's resistance against steel type attacks -1. This has the EX role of support. And let's just see later how good he really performs as a support sync pair. Now, again, I discussed this with my Cynthia video. I did not change that, still Cynthia. But for paying players, again, not free to play, for paying players with 30,000 gems, you can do 10 multi-pulls on your first, or rather, on your 5th multi-pull. You get to get custom move candy for Arcsuit Steven. And your 10 multi-pull, you get another custom move candy for Arcsuit Steven. So, whether or not you are able to scout for Arcsuit Steven, the moment you get him in your paid scout, you can feed those 2 custom move candies to Arcsuit Steven and get yourself 3 copies of Arcsuit Steven immediately. So that's a good thing about paying players. It's a free to... No, it's not. It's a very pay-to-win banner. Also, the moment you're able to scout for Arcsuit Steven on the paid scout, you also get a roll cake of whatever role he has, or EX role he has, which is support. So the moment you're able to get him in the paid scout, you get a support roll cake, which will give you a ×2 or sync buff, double sync buff when you use your sync move for the very first time. Alright, now let's talk about his kit right now, an in-depth look at his kit. So, as you can see over to his stats, he has a Metagross which can Mega Evolve. The yellow colors of these stats are the stats that they get after Mega Evolving. So, attack stat 400. Support sync pair with 400 attack stat. That is pretty impressive. Defense stat of 368 and special defense of 368. That is really impressive. And if you decide to make them 6-star EX, which you should, the attack stat will go really high. The defenses will go up really high. The speed stat will go up quite high as well. So, in the promotion of the multi-role for Pokemon Masters in Twitter and whatsoever, they said that, you know, multi-roles can take on striker role, can take tech, can take whatsoever role that you wish. For Steven, or for Arcsuit Steven, maybe he can do that because his stats are really high up. Every single stat is really high. So that's really impressive for Arcsuit Steven. Now, again, as I said earlier, you have a couple of passive skills. You have 5. The first passive skill is basically like a master passive, which raises or powers up every single sync pairs, the attacks, except sync moves, the more steel type sync pairs you have in your team. And reduces the damage, you know, you receive from the opponent by up to 26%. Again, excluding sync move damage. Still Judgment, as I said earlier, reduces the rebuff of the opponent -1, every single opponent. Raises the resistance you have for steel type attacks +1, you know, for all your teammates. And then, you have a third passive skill. What I learned from my adventure, gives your entire team an Endure effect And then the moment, every single time you attack the opponent using Steven or Arcsuit Steven, you will get a free move next. Basically, you're not spending a single, you're a single move gauge after your very first attack. And then every single time you attack the opponent as well, you get to give everyone in your team physical moves up next effect. Just like how, we have a sync pair that can do that right now. Champion Rosa, although Champion Rosa can raise not only physical moves up next effect, but also special moves up next effect. And then fourth passive skill, Wandering Stone Enthusiast. This is basically Vigilance plus Sandstorm Immunity, and then plus Downside Up. So you will not get hit by critical hits, you will not get hit by Sandstorm, and the moment you yourself or the opponent lowers your stats, it will raise your stats up instead. Now, last passive skill, from Triage Tank 9, every single time you get hit, you recover some HP. To Team Triage Tank 9, after you Mega Evolve, every single time you get hit, your entire team recovers HP. I like this. I like this a lot. So, now, let's talk about the attacks or the moves of Steven. Starting off with Iron Head, it's a 3-move gauge attack. After you use your very first Iron Head, you will never use any move gauge ever again. You have Potion, restores HP. You know what this does. Almighty Flash Bullet Punch. You will alternate between Iron Head and Almighty Flash Bullet Punch. And this has an MP of 3. You can only use this 3 times. Use Iron Head, you use Almighty Flash Bullet Punch. Or rather, it says when the user uses any move once. So you can probably use Potion, or you can use your We're the Strongest Trainer move as well. But it's an alternating thing. And when you attack the opponent using this, you lower the opponent's defense and special defense -1. And it also raises your allies' defense, or rather, not -1, but -2. And it also raises your entire team's defense and special defense +2. Again, you can use this 3 times to minimize the defenses of the opponents and maximize your own defenses, your entire team. Last but not the least, you have your trainer move. We're the Strongest maximizes the attack stat. Well, unless the opponent lowers your attack stat, but raises every single ally's attack stat +6. And depending on how many move gauges you use, you get to raise everyone's critical hit rate by a max of max. And then it also raises all allied sync pairs sync moves up next effect by 3 stat ranks. So this will power up your sync moves, not just for Steven, but also your allies. Your next sync move is going to be 30% stronger after you use We're the Strongest. So that's Steven. Very, get to recover HP every single time you get hit. Has Vigilance built in. Free move next, free move next, free move next. What else? You get to give everyone an Endure effect. And then you get Downside Up. And then you get, every single time you attack the opponent, you get a physical moves up next effect for your entire team. You get to lower the opponent's Steel type rebuff, raise your own resistance to Steel type attacks. And the more Steel types you have in your team, your normal attacks and your normal defenses against the opponent's normal attacks get better. And again, you can lower the opponent's defense and special defense stat to -6 and raise your defense and special defense stats up by +6 if after you use Almighty Flash Bullet Punch for 3 times. That's the maximum number of times you can use this. Now, your sync move or your divine move. After you 6-star EX him, you get to lower every single Steel type rebuff of all opponents again by another -1. Even though you're just hitting one opponent, every single opponent will have their Steel type rebuff lowered. It will Mega Evolve from Metagross to Metagross. And then it has built-in Synchro Healing. So you get to recover every single ally's HP by 20%. That's a very nice thing for this sync pair. So it kind of combines a lot of very good healing and defensive power-ups And this is also a very offensive sync pair. And again, when you use We're the Strongest, you get to get a sync move up next effect for your entire team again. And again, you have your Iron Head, which has a 30% of leaving the opponent or making the opponent flinch. So that's a nice thing if you are able to make the opponent flinch. Now, let's talk about his in-depth thing. So you have a lucky cookie for Arcsuit Steven in your story. You have Team Healing Entry, gives everyone a regen effect, which is nice. At 1 out of 5, you got Anti-Toxin and Iron Gauge Move Gauge Refresh 3. Again, you probably don't need this Move Gauge Refresh 3 because you'll always get a Move Gauge Refresh. Unless, you know, you have other sync pairs that are really demanding with a move gauge, probably this will be quite helpful. 2 out of 5, you got Potion Master Healer and Potion MP Refresh. You got Revenge Boost to have a chance of recovering your move gauge whenever you get hit. Sterner Stuff too, if you get hit by a physical attack against the opponent, you know, you get to receive less damage. And an MP Refresh 2 for We're the Strongest, just to raise your sync move up next effect for all allies, which is kind of nice as well. 3 out of 5, Endure again. If you have your Endure effect still, you will get an Endure effect again once you reach your Endure effect. Furious Brawn, the higher your attack stat is, the stronger your Iron Head or Almighty Flash Bullet Punch will be. Haymaker is a multiplier for this one. The higher your attack stat, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. Head Start 1 lowers your sync move count on the start of the battle. Iron Head Aggravation 1 is very much worth it for the additional chance. So 60% chance of flinching the opponent. Potion Master Healer and Potion MP Refresh once again. And Status Immunity, you cannot inflict status conditions on Arcsuit Steven if you get this. And like what I said with Arcsuit Cynthia, if you have him 3 out of 5, you got a free sync move power up plus 50, and your you have the choice of powering up it to plus 100 if you want to use energy on those tiles. Now, Arcsuits, again, they suck because they have 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 despite their 1% chance only. 4 out of 5 is a very good thing for him, guys. Because every single time you hit the opponent, you get to lower the opponent's attack and special attack stat -9. This is kind of like Champion Blue, except that, you know, you don't have discharge and your Almighty Flash Bullet Punch is only limited to 3 times. But at least when you use Almighty Flash Bullet Punch, you get to lower the opponent's defense to -6, special defense to -6, plus attack and special attack to -3 by this method. And then you can use Iron Head to continue lower the opponent's attack and special attack stats. So 4 out of 5 is probably the sweet spot for Arcsuit Steven. But 5 out of 5, you got a Sync Burst 1. For what? You get to recover your MP. 1 MP after you use your sync move. For what? Well, another 30% stronger sync move damage by using We're the Strongest, and another potion, because, you know, potions are helpful in terms of strong opponents. So that's Sync Burst 1. But again, my sweet spot for Arcsuit Steven is 4 out of 5 for that hit, attack down, and special attack down 9. But again, this is an Arcsuit. That means 1% chance of getting Arcsuit Steven and 500 scout points, which really sucks. So good luck. But, you know, overall, he has very high stats across the board and very high defenses. That 400 defense and 400 special defense. Above 400 actually. 440, maybe 450. So really, 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 really tanky sync pair. I don't think we have had a sync pair with that high yet. Maybe we have. I don't think we have had a sync pair with that high defenses after EX rolling plus after 6-star EXing. So this will become like one of the tankiest sync pairs we have in this game. So that's that. And every single time you get hit after Mega Evolving, you know, Arcsuit Steven will probably never faint. Because you get potion, you got some recovery with Team Triage Tank 9, and whenever you just feel like he's gonna faint already, you can use his sync move and recover 20% HP for the entire team. Synchro healing. So That is Arcsuit Steven and Metagross as a support sync pair. It's very good. Physical offensive buffer for the entire team, defensive buffer for the opponent's team, and then also can lower the opponent's defenses. You have Potion, which recover HP. You can flinch the opponent, although with Champion Blue, you can flinch all opponents, but Iron Head with aggravation is a 60% chance of flinching the opponent. That's good. And then, you know, bring in those 2 Steel type rebuffs for the opponent's entire team. So, Arcsuit Steven, for me, is a 9.5 to 10 in my tier list. But again, you can scout. This is definitely meta. But if you want, or, you know, if you just want to skip, just skip. Because 45,600 gems is not an easy thing to get. Plus, you know, we whalers who spend money on the game, there's a limit actually to how many paid gems you can keep. That's only 80,000. I'm not sure if they changed it already because, you know, just having 2 sync pairs, you need 90,000 something paid gems. So I don't know if they actually change it, but we'll have to see. And I don't want to spend money on this game anymore, honestly, after realizing that there's 10 sync pairs in this update. But until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up down below. And let me know if you're scouting. If you want to support me, take the support a bit further. I need some funds for my Animal Flow mentorship. You can go to my coffee.com/SPLGum page. And or support me with a super chat, super thanks, or by joining the members and you have your name here in this list. Thank you to everyone here for your continued support. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And until then, that's it for our discussion. I will see you with Arcsuit Lance in the next video. Rawr!